Hello and welcome back. Friday morning, 9 o'clock, sales video. More bread and butter. Works for me. Stuff gone. There's one little combo sale in here that's fairly decent. Some books I just got. I was kind of surprised on the type and the style of the book, the kids' books. It's not a Three Investigators one. So actually, I just looked at the ship here. So I did say that I was going to kind of point out a little more to otherwise a newer viewer could mention something. So I don't know how well all this is going to turn out. I'm just going to bring the camera up to it. So this, this is the right way. All right. This entire picture is like a 40 by 30, the entire size of it, all the way across. Was made by a friend of mine in Canton, Adam DeRay. And I can't, we got another sale that came in. Phone's in the wrong angle for me to see. So this is kind of like the NX class. NX would just be the experimental, so kind of like the NX Enterprise, NX01, or like the Columbia class. And then there are a handful of other experimental classes, but the Columbia and the Enterprise are the two. Then all this is all individual markings, and in each of these, that one has one, that one has one, that one has one, that one has one, these two, and see if you can kind of see the little glinter. There we go. So all these little marks right here, this is all, every single one of these is all hand done. So kind of like pointillism. Like this, I told him in the realm of Starry Night by Van Gogh with the small touch of Star Trek, and that's what he came up with. I gave him complete artistic license to do it. So that's just another breakdown of this. I haven't really brought this up in a while, and whoever made the comment yesterday is the first person in the 7 months that this channel has been up has made a direct comment without me guiding anyone to a comment. Is the first person to comment specifically about this without any guidance or assistance from me or me bringing it up. So I'm surprised it took that long. So this is, it's all custom. You can actually, where's that? There's a little crack in the acrylic right here. So there's that. And the other thing is a little stinky flop monster here. His name is Bruce. Look at the camera, Brucey. Okay. So he's Bruce, Big Boy Bruce, the flop monster. Called him that a couple times. He just likes to flop. So he flops over everything, anything, all the time. But he was missing for like 4 days. Probably because he got sprayed by a skunk on day one and he just wanted to walk around and Mother Nature kind of get some of that smell off of him. He still has a faint smell of it, but yeah, he's the one that'll go off for a couple days at a time and come back and just meow, 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 and talk and talk and talk and tell us the whole story of everything that happened while he was out. The other cats, they'll go in and out throughout the day, and then they all come back besides him. He's the one who likes to venture off. Enough about little side notes there. Let's get to what's sold. David Chesney, Area 31, CD 17. So it's actually 1650, but I round up or round down at that 50 point. So we'll go to, this is 1899. So it sold for 19. I'm wrestling. Check on the back. Looks like Connie Britton. These cool 4 mysteries of the unknown, Usborne World of the Unknown, and these 4 little books here. Got these at a yard sale. I forget the road that it was, but it was up here in Menor, maybe not even 2 weeks ago. And I pull in, go down to where the people are, say, hey, I'm mainly looking for physical media, books, CDs, DVDs, so on and so forth. And all right, the warrant, they say, well, we don't have any of that. There might be a box up top. I go up top and it's buried with all kinds of like your standard kids books. And then I was like, all right, well, I mean, you never know what's in there. You could find something completely $100 something just mixed in there. And I saw that. I was like, well, that's definitely intriguing. There's a barcode, and I think these came up like 30, $40, and I hit the solds, and sure enough, they sell. So I grabbed all the ones that were kind of like it, lotted them all together, paid $3, sold for 68. Judge Judy DVD 13. Michael W. Smith DVD 14. This multi-movie Me Again What If Marriage Starter Marriage Retreat 14. We can see here this is turning to be just bread and butter. So each of these $14, $15, $16 sales still making, well, if it's 14, still, even at the product cost, still making about $5 each one if it's at 14. Maybe a little more. So if you have a stack of CDs and DVDs, you get a picture, flip it over, picture, repeat that. You can get a bunch of pictures going doing it that way. And then you can list 12 to 20 an hour. You're really pumping them out. But for the amount of time wrapped up in just a DVD, that in turn you're going to make $4, $5, $6, $7 on. And if you can get 15 of those listed in an hour and you're making $5 each one, heck, that's 75 an hour, right? Just Dance 319. So I got this at the place where came back and I made the sourcing video that I picked up 5. I know it was 5 things because I paid $19 for those 5 things. There's this and that Firefall, and a couple other things that were worthwhile to list. 19. Carlos Jones and the Plus Band CD 16. Stevie Wonder Songs in the Key of Life Volume 2 14. And Class Struggle in Africa, a real small paperback, size of my hand. I'm 6'4", so I got a little bigger hands. But I got this back in December. It was December 20th when I got the picture. So this would have been one that would have been fairly early in my sourcing videos. 8 months later, for something like this, that if I remember correctly, which I did not rewatch the video, if I remember correctly, it's one of those I got because it has sales history. It may only be 4 or 5 in Terapeak, but that 4 or 5, when they sell for 35, $40. For any other example, a sales history that's going to be 30, 50, 70, $100. If there's 2 that have sold in Terapeak and they sell for $70, or they have sold for 68 and 77, I'm going to spend $2 on that. And if it's a book, if I have to wait around for 8 months, a year for it to sell, that's $2 well spent. That's why I talk about, which I really haven't in a while, but that's why I talk about sales history. I don't use the sell-through rate. Sell-through is a gauge to help you know on if something will sell quicker. I'm not worried about stuff selling quicker. The only things I worry about selling quickly are things that aren't higher value. And even at that still really doesn't matter, because if it has a sales history, it means it stands a chance to sell. I may be miscuing what people represent sell-through is and why they do it. However, I believe one factor would be, per se, if you sell clothing, you're going to end up with an entire basement filled with clothes and shoes. In order to slow down that growth of the amount of items, you want to pay attention to sell-through. That way you know what you buy can sell fast. So you're not accruing all these clothes. For that example, so if this is a bad example for this shirt. So if you have this bluish green, if you have this color in t-shirt and you type in blue-green t-shirt, it's so broad of everything that's out there, as opposed to just typing in exactly what this is. That's why I geared and shifted more toward physical media. The more identifying numbers and information that you have, the easier it is for people looking for it to narrow it down. So if you just have, I don't know. I mean, I know some people sell Janko, and some can still sell for hundreds of bucks, if not 1,000, if not a little more. If you have that, the exact model and all that information within there, or being that Janko really weren't made for a long time, there's not really a lot of, but there are still a lot of them out there. Same thing with common CDs and DVDs and books. I mean, I can go down. I'm sure I can find a Victoria Holt or Danielle Steele or John Grissom. I'm sure I can find that stuff all day, but I'm not going to buy it to sell, because there's just so many of them. I'm not going to spend $3, $2 on a book that sells for $6 total. Just not going to. Something that's very and absolutely specific like this. That's why I shifted to physical media, because it's what you have is absolute with the title, with the vast majority with a year, with an artist or an author or a DVD or an instructional or some sort of audiobook. That title is absolute. And the more kind of distinctive words that you have in the title, the less results that are going to come up, to make it to where finding your item, for anybody looking for it specifically, doesn't have to sort through a whole bunch of other blue t-shirts. Oh, there's 6 million blue t-shirts. Class struggle in Africa. You might get some figurines. You might get somebody who misspells it and it's glass struggle, or even eBay may even do that. But it's just one of those, it's very, very specific. And that generically segues me to, there are times where I will, if something is like a $20 DVD and it comes up and there's 40 or 60 results that come up on the minimum. And usually it's going to be 40, I think, on scan. It's going to be 40. If there's more than 40, it's going to show more than 40. And if I hit the sold and more than 40 sell, and even if the price is 18, 20 bucks, that's a lot of competition. So chances are it's going to be a race to the bottom. That's one of the other reasons why I don't sell on Scamazon. It's always race to the bottom as quick as you possibly can with all the repricers. Nothing against selling on Scamazon, but the culture of how Amazon works is I was going to use worse adjectives, but it's bad. And a lot of the sellers are bad. But I'm not going to pick up something that just has, so let's just say that this was just, the name of the book was just Class. How much more am I going to narrow that down? By the author? Yeah. Now, if it was just called Class and it was wrote by John Smith and there's no year in it, that's a lot of me having to figure out extra keywords to put in the title to narrow down something that I can wait on 2 months or 6 months, whichever, to sell a book that ultimately I probably had to bring the price down to 15 bucks because it was constantly getting so much competition that now for me to spend the $2 for that it could otherwise, or was at one point selling for 20, now it's selling for 12. I'm taking all that and taking, I guess a better way how to say it is there's more out there that's easier to work with than having to have to work more to get less. So that's one of those executive things you as a seller, eventually we'll just have to figure out what works best for you. And as what, I forget who wrote it now, they said, I beat to my own drum. One of the commenters, and let me bring it up again, on my community posts. I'm not adding any more community posts until the 17th or 18th or whenever the comedic comment contest is done. Any new viewers, any returning viewers, whomever, go to my community post. Write a comment about what you would tell someone else what this channel is about, with a small tone of humor in it. Humor to you, humor to me is completely different. Go there, write a comment. Get someone else to comment to your comment. My comments don't count. If you do that, you're entered, and right now it's a fairly small pool, you're entered, or you're a contestant to be able to win top prize, $50 eBay gift card. Second prize, $30 coupon to my store. Third prize, I'll have to figure that one out because it was going to be Supply Hut coupon, but they don't do coupons or vouchers and stuff. Right now, there's 2 responses. So there's still a little over a week left. I told myself I was going to make this 20-minute video. That's what it's going to wrap up to be. So if you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, there's a couple explanation things in here. If anything going up, comment below. Comment on the community post. Subscribe, share. That helps me, help you, help other people learn about selling physical media. That's what this channel is about. Appreciate it. Thank you.